Ellicottville Brewing Company. Caramel apple. Brewed with caramel, green apple, citrus, and vanilla. Finishes dry with bold oak essence. 8.5% alcohol, so it's heavy on the alcohol. Especially for a fruit beer. You don't see many beers that are this high in alcohol. Brewed and bottled in Ellicottville, New York. I hope I'm saying that right. Ellicott. So, anyway, let's give it a shot. So it smells just like it advertised. Caramel and apple. You get very, very subtle sweetness of the caramel, but you get that apple kind of scent from it. Now, when you drink it, it just kind of reminds you of like an appley, slightly caramelly Bud Light or Miller Lite. It's just a beer, kind of watery, with some flavoring in it. Now, it's advertised as a caramel apple. So when I expect it, I expect more caramel than apple and more rich, bold flavor. But instead, all I'm tasting is, and even the girlfriend said, you remember those caramel apple lollipops or suckers? And they didn't, maybe you got them at like a Halloween parade or trick-or-treating. And they never exactly tasted caramel or apple. They just kind of had this weird, made-up kind of factory devised flavoring. That's kind of what this is. This is a great attempt at something new that you don't really see too much on the shelf, but it just has that weird caramel apple lollipop sucker taste to it. And if you never had one, let me just put it plainly, it's not good. It's not that it's something that if you saw in your trick or treat basket or bag or whatever, you'd probably throw it away because you never ate it. I kind of see where they were going with this. It would be great if they could have hit the flavor notes on this. If they would have really landed the flavoring, it would have been a lot better. But again, it just kind of tastes like a watery, maybe like Miller Lite with this weird half-assed caramel apple flavor. My drinkability on this would be 1, just because I could see having this, being disappointed enough where I'm like, that's it. I got to change because I want to be happy right now because this beer's not doing it for me. If I would have to drink this beer, I don't even know where you would kind of put this year in the calendar year wise, just because it's not fruity enough to be refreshing where you would want it in a summer month or a warm month, but it's not caramelly enough. It's not caramel or caramely enough to be advertised as a winter beer. So just because of that, I'm gonna leave that blank. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this a 2, just because it has that weird manufactury, caramely, appley, lollipop taste, and it's very subtle on that, which also kind of decreases it. Even if it was more, I'd probably give it a higher rating, but it's not enough to be like, oh, hey, that I like the caramel and the apple. You don't even really get caramel or apple. It's just this weird kind of fake taste. And even the beer itself isn't great. I understand they advertise the oaky flavor to it, and you really do get that oaky kind of wood, kind of barrely kind of taste to it. But I think they ruined it with trying to flavor it with caramel and apple. So, again, that's Ellicottville Brewing Company, Caramel Apple, and out of Ellicottville, New York. Hey guys, if you like that, why don't you head on over to my YouTube channel where I do more beer reviews, where I do all the drinking and you do all the listening and judging. I don't know how that's fair, but you're welcome.